What's going on? What up? What's going on, guys? Who do we have in here? This is a really important moment. Hang on one sec. Oops. So, hello. Hello? Okay, we're working. My bad. We are not in a good spot. We are not in a great spot. If we're thinking Doge 30's, we are heading Doge 30's at this rate. So we kind of need to see something change. Who we got in here? I see we got 3 people. What's up? Appreciate the like. Whoever dropped one. Absolutely appreciate that like. 100%. If you were with us earlier on the stream, the whole goal was we were looking at this resistance line here, and trying to see the fastest way out of this dreadful 26-hour, now 27-hour downtrend channel that we have here. And the way out was to ride this 4.5, I'm sorry, this 0.45 support level out. So that means we come through here, we had already broken. So we come through here and we ride this and we go out. So we ended the stream waiting to get to that point, right? Hopefully you can hear me all right. We ended the stream right about here, knowing we had potentially hours to get through this. But unfortunately, we're now seeing a point where we're no longer holding the 0.45 support, which means, unfortunately, it does not look like we're going to make it. So that's real bad news. Really, really bad. Again, if you just popped in earlier on stream, we were talking about the fastest way to get out of this 26-hour long downtrend that we've had since yesterday, right? And the only way out, the obvious way out, the fastest way out, is exiting through here. But when you look at this, we are not heading that way. We broke our support that we were trying to hold, which was our escape, our quick escape. And now we're trending back through the channel. We're starting to now trade downwards again. And that's really bad for a couple reasons. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Really, our goal is just to see, are we going to break 30s tonight? Are we going to break into 30s? Or are we going to recover? Right now, it's not looking so good. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully sounds good, audio's good. This is going to be a short stream because I am starting to lose my voice. I've never talked this much ever. I did an 11-hour stream this morning and talked pretty much nonstop. But just kind of picking up where we left off about an hour ago. This is not looking good for us, all things considered. I'm sure if you take a look at this, you can figure out why just by looking at the price action compared to the things we were able to chart out. I think we've got some people in here, right? I want to talk to myself. Oh yeah, we are coming down hard. Let's adjust just a little bit. We've got barely some wiggle room. Not really. Honestly, not really. This is on the 3-minute chart too. We are coming down. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just waiting for a couple more people to pile in here. Yeah, not looking good. At this point, we need to start thinking about plan B. What's going on, Vantage? Welcome back. hodling strong? I'm glad you are, because we are not. I'm glad you are, because we are not. I had to pop back in. This will be a short stream, I think. But we are not looking great. Hoping a couple people from earlier pop back in before I lose my voice again. Because it is on its way. But this is exactly why the whole focus of the stream was to buy low earlier. So that in the case that this happened, we're not just instantly screwed over. Right? And in the case that this happens, we don't just immediately panic. Am I thinking about selling? Well, my thing is on this account, my other accounts, no. But on this account, I'm looking to dip buy. So if I'm not in the dip, yes, I am thinking about selling and re-entering once we finish selling off. Two different strategies. 2 accounts I'm holding. 1 account I'm looking for a dip. Now, really what this depends on is what we really do here. Because we're breaking all kinds of rules at this point. Welcome to the stream, guys. I see we got a couple people in here. If you were here earlier, say what's up. Hey, Mickey, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. Sorry to bring you guys here. This won't be a long stream, but when I left about an hour ago, we were here, and I said I'd come back if something started happening. I do need to kind of relax my throat a bit because I'm losing my voice. What's the 1 week prediction? I can't say I know. I mean, I'm still bullish regardless of what's happening. We're overselling, so my 1 week prediction has not changed. I think we're 50s into 60s, no matter what. Unless we go like low 30s into 20s, which would be a little scary. People would get concerned. There's no reason for us not to bounce back. We have too much good news on our hands to not rebound. Elon's tweets and stuff haven't gained the traction yet because people are still selling off. But we just announced so much stuff. It just hasn't been factored into the price yet. But this isn't good. And this is why the whole goal was to buy here. Buy at the real dip. Worst case scenario here, right? But we didn't want to buy up in here because the chance was still high. And for those that are new here, yeah, everything's going down, so it's not like the end of the world. We're going to recover. But if we're looking to see what the bottom is, we were looking at 45 as our level we need to hold. We've been going down again for a little over 26 hours now, non-stop downtrend in this channel, respecting it all the way down to this point where we had a super low. And so we said, all right, maybe we're going to break out. And we got some good action here. But if you look, we had like a really textbook head and shoulders right here. So that was a little scary. But anyway, our plan to get out of this was if this is going to be the lowest area, our quickest way out is to the right. So we wanted to gain enough traction to not keep doing this whole thing, but to kind of slow down and start trading sideways instead of down. And trade over to here, consolidate and break out and get out of this downtrend we've been in for 26 hours. Unfortunately, our level here started, you could see it was just a little weak at 45 and it just held less and less until right here it broke through. And then it even broke through the bottom channel of this trend. Now, that's not to say this isn't going to rubber band back into here, which it has tended to do all the way, even when it's spiked above. That's not to say we're going down, straight down, right? But that is to say we are no longer trading to the right. So this line gets deleted, and we no longer have our quick way out, which is bad news for us, because now we have to find another way out. It's only getting worse with our EMA coming down with us here. Our moving average price is now at 48 cents, getting a little low. So we'll probably reject and get back into this channel, but the point is we need to get out. And that was our winning way out, and it looked promising, but it just failed, which is why I went live, because I saw it about to fail. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100's light too, so that's not, you know, you could put that in and just sit it there and come back in a year, no problem. But if you're in larger size, I'm sure you're a little concerned about your investment. So the goal is just trying to figure out, you know, we can't guess the bottom, but what's it looking like? What are the patterns telling us? What's the price action telling us? What can we predict just based off what's happening? Unfortunately, our answer just now was, at this rate, we're not trading to the right anymore. The only way this changes is if this returns all the way back up to here. It was just an over rejection, right? An overreaction followed by a strong rejection back into here, and we continue to trade right. Unless that happens, if we keep doing this, if we make another low here, it's not looking good for trading to the right and breaking out within like an hour or two. Because of that, I mean, it's a long way down, and it's just anyone's guess as to when we actually break this downtrend. Comments. Let's see. I answered the one about selling. I have one account that I am trying to get a dip buy on, but my other two I am holding. I'm not selling. Good morning. Good morning to you. Double bottom here. Yeah, kind of. A double bottom, kind of, yeah. My 1 week prediction, yeah, 50s to 60s. Yep, same as previous. Everything's down. Shibu worth, depends on what you define as worth. It's definitely a risky endeavor, and it's up pretty high right now. But worth for long-term investment, I don't think there's anything special about Shibu Inu that would make me say yes. But if you're looking for a short-term play, you know, quick in and out, it's very volatile. So for a quick pump and leave, sure. Long-term, I don't see anything special about it. So that's why I'm not bothering. I'm assuming Doge, even though its intrinsic value isn't off the charts, that it really will continue becoming America's or the world's coin and the default cryptocurrency. That's why I'm even bothering with this. If it was all a meme, like GameStop hype being at $400 when it should be at $40, I wouldn't be messing with it. Because as much fun as it can be, I also don't want to waste time and money. So that's the only reason I'm here. It's because I kind of believe in it based off news. But we are now, what we just need to see now is what's next. All right. Do we come back down to 42? 42 should be a really strong support just because it's 420, right? And this is a meme coin. And so 69 and 420. 69 cents and 42 cents are really strong. 420. So there's a chance that becomes our support and we don't go below that. I'm in, and those that were early on the stream are in at 425. So not too worried about coming down here, but for those that are at 4.5, also not terribly worried, but you are going to be in a little red if it does come down. But if you bought up here, you're probably watching this a little more like a hawk. Whole market copped a flash crash with Bitcoin going down. True. And that's why this is also a good time to buy and not panic. Think of this as a dip because you know why we're going down. Bad news all this weekend. Big sell-off, whales, everything against us, and the market crashing. And we're in 40s. It's not bad. All things considered, it's not bad. So now we want to buy a dip that we can feel comfortable with riding out. Like I said earlier, I still think this stands. Hey, what's up, Herman? If you are 30s, if you're 40s, especially low 40s, we're not worried still. Even if we get near 30, we're not worried. Even if we get near 30s. 30 flat, that's a little scary, but 39, we're not super worried. If you bought low, now if you're holding, obviously you don't want to see it your 50 or 60 or 70 cent position down to 30 cents. That's a massive loss. But then it's just at that point, how much do you believe we're coming back up? So, Herman, I missed your message there. I'm sorry. If you were talking about whales and changed your mind about the question, I don't think this has to do with whales. Usually when a whale dumps, we see a really sharp sell-off, unless they're just doing it smart. And each time we get up here, they're just dumping a bit to make sure it doesn't cross, which is, I prefer that over just a sharp decline, but still 26 hours. I don't think it's a whale. Do you think you can bounce back to 70 this week? Well, I think it has to do with time and announcements. If we can get out, if 40s is the lowest we're going, and we can reverse our trajectory today, right? Because we are landing. We are not taking off like we want to. If we can finish this downtrend and get out, we're going to start going up. If we get stuck in here and forced down to 40 and things still aren't looking good, that's the only chance we go to 30s. We are on our way down, right? But when we get here to 42 range and 40, it's going to be really hard to force us down into this and below. So I think ideally, since we failed our 45 escape so far, we should be looking at probably getting out of this downtrend at around 42. That's my prediction. If we don't recover here and continue trading sideways out, it's not too late, but it's not looking good. So if we don't come back here, respect this 45 level and continue trading and then break out, it's probably going to be down here where resistance is, or support is really, really strong. It's going to be real hard to push this into 30s for no reason. And if we can stay not going into 30s, right? We can stay above 40 and get out of this and free ourselves and start freely heading up and stop thinking about this channel here. Then yeah, I think we get 50s and we probably end up 60s towards end of week pretty comfortably. 70, we have to be in 60s already and we have to get good news. We don't just spike from 50 to 70 or 40 to 70 unless something massive happens. I think we need to get out of here, give a couple days to recover, run back up, forget about this dip, and us be at 60 or 60s, and then good news brings us to 70. I don't think we go much above 70 unless the news is crazy, because we have plenty of bag holders waiting to close their positions. So it'll honestly be surprising if we get past 68. 69 tops, I don't think we even touch 70. We've got too many people on the way up still waiting to take profit and get out that are holding the bag at like 70 to 74. Now what we have to do though is just kind of watch this and see what's next, right? It doesn't look like we're recovering. Looks like we're kind of bouncing off of this, still heading down. And now we need to see if we're still kind of respecting this here, or are we starting something new? Really, I just want to get sideways and break out of this nonsense. This should never happen. Like, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Thanks again for those likes. Appreciate it. So now we just kind of chill and wait. This wasn't my night stream, so I won't be here forever, but I am just going to hang out and see what happens for a couple minutes. It's not what you want to see. So yeah, it's going to be a little boring for the next couple minutes. There's not much to say. What I can say though, at least this is a higher low. We have that in our favor. It just sucks that we just kind of confirms we are trying to break below this 450 line. But if we can reject here and then reject this and break above and then start trending back sideways, we kind of recover. But I'd hate to have to go down to 42. Okay, check this out. I'm kind of doing the thing that I didn't think we'd pull off. But now, if we end up still trading sideways here, we can recover from that failure and actually get out. By the way, that was a second dip buy opportunity. Surprise, surprise. Maybe not all things that are bearish end bearish. Let's get our little line back. Why not? There we go. So this is getting back to what we want to see. This is not looking too bad anymore. We ended up on the wrong side of things. And now we're starting to recover a bit. We never wanted to break below this. We want to ride this out. But the fact that we're here now, we're back, is actually really good. Now on the way back, we need to hold this. That's our next mission. This is mission control to permission to leave. Permission to leave headquarters. Let's make this our purple line. We cannot drop below this again. This could be a sign that we're trading sideways now and starting to ignore the channel. Even though we're kind of rejecting out of it and looking at it a little bit, this could be a sign we're starting to turn from going down to going sideways, which is our fastest way out. Now, if we keep disrespecting this line, that theory goes out the window. Let's draw the trajectory that we actually want. If Webull lets me. All right. So whatever we do in here, maybe we do some of this. I don't know. Who cares, right? Our goal is out. We are still getting some more hope here. With this respecting this here on the pullback, that could be a sign that we rejected going low. We actually bounced off. We got our last group of people, scooped them up here at the 430s for a dip buy, and now we're going to go sideways and leave. So we actually kind of recovered from that. So this is extremely important. Extremely important next couple minutes here. Wow, why isn't my line touching? But this will tell us where we're going. Again, looking at the trajectory, what? When you see when we should be exiting here, if we can continue to trade sideways, this is still a couple hours, right? So this is taking us later than we'd like to be. Unfortunately, somewhere around, after midnight. But if we continue to trade down and continue to trade down, we end up getting out tomorrow at the same time as right now. Either getting out or getting forced down. So that's not what we want either. At the soonest, if we trade through this, we get here 6:15 a.m. tomorrow morning. At the latest, we're talking 7 p.m. This is a 12-hour gap. So let's hope we can get out here. Maybe even out here. Here we go, kind of disrespecting the line again. Let's hide this. The only way this is okay is if this turns into a rejection. If this closes below, I'm not feeling it. But we do have this line right here that we can start to look at. Our goal is just to trade sideways out. It doesn't matter if it's perfect, but we don't want to have to ride this another day all the way down. This was 26 hours right here. And we even were in this channel before that. We don't want to end up going all the way down here, having to wait another day or two to get out of this downtrend, or it forcing us into 30s and us continuing down. So let's do this. It's about the lowest we can make this line. Dump. It's not looking too great. Welcome back, 7. This won't be a long stream, just a couple minutes. Really, I'm just trying to see, good time to buy more now or wait till it dips. Not at this moment. This is an area of value, but this is not exactly where I'd say buy, only because we're starting to look a little weak. Regardless, 42 isn't a bad place to buy. 42, 43, but right now anything 44 or higher is making me feel a little weird. Stuff like this keeps happening. And then we keep rejecting and coming back up. So we need a clear sign of strength that's indicating that we're not going to go crashing down to 40 and then through. Oh, hey, Bree. I didn't realize the name. Welcome back. So you see here, we're just kind of disrespecting this line a lot. Kind of makes me want to get rid of it. She's back. Now you see what's kind of happening here? We're still trending down. If you look here, downward, downward. Unfortunately, we're curving out a little bit this way, but we're still slanting down hard. We need to start trading sideways to get out fast. Like, we need to go from here, out. Not from here, down for eternity, all the way down through here. And that's what we're watching. It's a little boring, but if you got money in, it's not quite as boring. Another thing to look out for, it's only a matter of time before we get an answer on if we're going to keep going down. Because eventually, if we keep doing this thing here, we're going to hit our previous low of 42 cents. If we get there and we continue, now we're making new lows. It's a very bad sign. And that should happen, where does this point meet? Somewhere around the next 2 hours, it looks like. Somewhere around midnight, Eastern time. So this is going to be a slow grind, unless it just dumps straight through. But yeah, this isn't exactly what we wanted to see. We're still waiting for it to trend sideways out. Basically, riding the 45, the 0.45, all the way out to the right, was our best bet, and we started to break this trend and start doing our own thing sideways, but then we kind of lost it, and now we're getting sucked back in. But we are still trying to go sideways, but we're not quite doing it. So I don't know how to feel about this. All I know is we did reject with a low, and now a higher low now. That is slightly bullish, but we really need this to catch. We're still at 0.45. We need this to catch somewhere and start going up to the right. I think there's a high chance, excuse me, that we wait a little bit as this continues to come down, somewhere like this, as we do this, and we kind of break these two lines at the same time and then have to deal with the 50 separate. Yeah, we still have to deal with this too on the 1 minute. Things aren't looking super great. But keep in mind, if we can catch up to here, if we can stay here and break through this somewhere in here, we're probably just going to start curling upward, which gets us out a little faster. I think I'd rather look at 1 minute right now. Because the question is, do we break the 200 EMA? If we do, we get a lot of momentum just from doing that on the 1 minute time frame. And that will help us do what we need to on the 3 and 5 to finish the job. They're like three separate teams. There's team 1, there's team 3 and 5. All three have to accomplish their goal. 1 is usually first to finish, but then 3 and 5 need to do the same thing. 3 and 5 are stronger, but they're slower. Buy later 2 cents. It's a meme coin, bad foundation. It is. It was a meme coin, but now we're 4th market cap, so we're kind of taking it a little more serious now and trying to make some uses out of it. So, yeah, you could argue it's still a meme coin, but it's becoming a little more. So, kind of to each their own. Now that we can buy things with it, I think it's not just something you put money in and then convert it. You can buy stuff with Doge. All right, there's a classic. Came in pretty hot there. Yeah, an Elon pump though won't be doing anything. It might now. If we're starting to slow the downtrend, now we could use an Elon pump. But as of a couple hours ago, like this morning, Elon pumps did absolutely nothing. People were still just focused on clearing their positions. They wanted nothing to do with Elon's pumps. Not after SNL. So this is important. We really need, on the 1 minute, it would have been great to get through there now. Really, my whole thing is let's finish with this sooner than later. We already see this downtrend. Like I said, if we continue, this decision period of whether or not this channel, if we stay in, is going to take us to 30's, right? This happens tomorrow. If we get all the way down to here, this point in time, this is tomorrow if you look at the time. This is 5:11 at 6 a.m. Eastern. So that's the earliest. The latest is tomorrow at 7 p.m. That's a whole 12-hour window, a whole nother day of wondering. I would like us to be strong and get out here. Let's just cut to the chase and get out of this channel. And very strong rejection off the 200, just like we have been. And if we keep getting strong rejections like this with huge sell-offs, we could crash through again, just like we did here. So it's something to keep an eye on. I think the direction's just very undecided right now. I think people just don't know what they want to do, if they want to finish the selling off or if we're going to catch. So we keep getting like bullish signals and then just like really bad sell-offs. Again, I won't be on here terribly long. I'll probably finish with a late night stream if things look interesting, but I just wanted to come back on here for an update and see where everybody was at. Just because things did not go according to our ideal plan. We're still looking bearish, unfortunately. If you want to follow me, my Twitter link is in the description. In case I'm not streaming, I might start posting stock updates there, just in case something crazy happens, so you know what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or whatever. So go ahead and feel free to follow me there. I don't post much on it, but I will now that I'm looking at Doge and people are coming to the stream. And some people asked about donating earlier. You really don't have to do that. I do try and help people, but you don't have to. But if you really want to, I did figure out how to turn on Super Chat, so that's probably the safest way for you to get a dono off if you really want to do that. But again, no need. What are you guys' thoughts? I see that we've got like 6 of you. I know 7 you think dump. Bree, you're probably just a little concerned. And we're holding right at your mark too, which is a little unfortunate. It'd be nice to just get you a clear dip. Advantage, you're hodling. I guess it's hodling. I like to say hodl. Is that how we say it? Team. I see you. I feel everyone caught onto the game the whales are playing, so they are very cautious about buying in now. Everyone wants the lowest buy-in, so yeah. I agree. That's what I was saying too. Everybody seems a little scared. We'll just keep getting eaten our gains on the way down. Right. So it just depends on where you're at. If you're looking to average, not too bad to hold. If you're looking to get out, I mean, what's your tolerance? Can you watch this thing tank to maybe 30s and then rebound? It's going to rebound, but this is just the painful part. If you really, really want to sell and buy a dip, you can sell and buy a dip. You just want to find a good high point to sell at and not a low. Put yourself in some kind of profitable situation. But yeah. No idea at this point, thinking about just holding and checking back in like a week. Yeah, it's fair. It's anyone's game. You can kind of see we're starting this thing now, where this is our support line. It's higher than this, but it's just a little weird. But then again, we've got this here, so. What just happened? Whoa. Well, let me zoom out. Okay. I'm going to try and do as many updates as I can with what I think, but if people just nonstop sell and just keep deciding to sit at levels and then just keep going down, I mean, what can we really do? Except for buy at our best dip price if things start to slow down and look like they're going up and hope for the best. You see here how we had this thing going where it looked promising and then we just couldn't do it. Let's see what we're doing with we're heading back up to the 200. If we can break this and sit on top of it, we'll probably end up riding out to the right. Our problem is this thing is our support and it's like on our head. And we can't seem to break it. It's kind of pushing us down. We're pulling it down and it's also pushing us down. coming up a little bullishly again. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. But we are still trying. This is pretty important. What we need to see is crossing this line like we did here, but holding and not doing this whole thing again. Because if we can hold on it and stay above it, we will trend out to the right. 1 cent, man, you're crazy. I will cash app you $1,000 if this dumps to 1 cent in a week. I don't see how it's possible. When was it even 1 cent last? When I found out about Doge, it wasn't even 1 cent. It was 4. So look at how we're coming up. This is nice. We're really trying to break out. We're really respecting that 45 level. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like watching grass grow, but why'd you buy it at 70? You didn't wait for a dip? Me? No, I was in and then I sold for a profit, and then I got back in pretty high because I saw it going back up, and it did. It went up to 74, and then I was going to sell, but it stabilized. And then I looked away for a couple minutes and the whale sold. And I just held expecting a rebound, but so many bad things happened. At that point, I said, you know what, I'll just practice my holding. I could have sold, definitely could have sold, and saved a lot of money, but I do believe it's going back up. I just said, why not just hold? Would have been smarter to sell, but I also didn't think we'd come below 50, so here we are. And there we go again, not quite making it. It's crazy how strong that level is, isn't it? We're going to keep trying, though. I really think people are feeling 45 as a level here. Look at how much action we've got going on 45. How we, even though our 200's right here, we keep looking at 45. So anybody that hasn't bought in yet, you should probably be looking here. 45 is looking like a pretty strong support, and we're forcing ourselves up into this scenario where the 200 is coming down literally on our heads and we're meeting it at this strong support level with like 8 touches in the last couple minutes. Plus more support all the way to your left. For that reason, I feel like we get here and we break it. We could dump, but I feel like we break it, especially with how bullishly we keep coming up and like ramming our heads into it. So if you haven't bought, 45 isn't a bad place to buy. It's a thing to think about. You can either buy below it or you can wait for us to break above it and then hold it and look like we're going out. Entry timing is up to you. But of course, if you want to buy on the underside, don't buy right here. You should be buying somewhere on the level we're trending at here. On the lows. Buy on the lows. That way you can sell on the highs if things still aren't looking great. Like if you bought here and you're like, oh, this looks weak. I thought it was going to push through on this push and it's retracing. You can sell here and get out and be in a profit situation. Don't buy here hoping it'll go through and then it fail and you have to sell at a loss. If you're a beginner, at least. If you're a more experienced trader, you can probably cut your loss. Like you might buy here and you could sell right here. But unless you're light speed with a really good system and computer, probably not going to happen. You have to have hotkeys. You can only hear me on the left. Is that for all of you? Can you guys only hear me in your left ear? I can switch to my headset, though the audio quality will be not so great. Here we go. Maybe I'll just switch to my headset. Look at that. Hello? Hello, hello. Testing, testing, testing. Hopefully that's stereo. We are going up. So this is what I was saying. If you don't like this area to be buying in, now we wait for confirmation that we're above. We wait for it to retrace and hold and continue on that path. We don't do one of these and buy right here. We need to see it rejecting off of that and holding. Thing is, you might not be buying super low, but you're buying at a point where you're not just going to go straight red. Yeah, it is kind of fun. It's fun as long as you've got a couple extra pennies to put in. You're static on the right. I switched to my headset. It shouldn't be mono now. Is everybody here static? Sounds fine. Okay. So this is looking pretty decent. Only left. I'm genuinely confused because my headset is, I mean, this is a gaming headset. It's not mono. I was using my mic input previously, which is mono, I guess, but I thought I converted it to stereo. But now that's not the case. So this is on the 1 minute if we're looking at the 3. To summarize, we've still got a ways to go. We still have to clear this. And so we're going to take off here for a bit, but we're going to come back. We're going to see a pullback. Can I do side by side? So if we look at this on a 3, did not mean to do that. Wow. We can kind of compare. Okay, cool. Cool. So we're going kind of parabolic here, but usually parabolic uptrends don't last very long, and they reject, and we get a nice pullback off those. So that will probably happen somewhere up in here if we really just keep going here. And what level is that? About 43, 43.40. So I don't see us making it higher than this before we pull back pretty hard. And for me, I mean, in my opinion, if I haven't bought yet, I'm going to try and buy off that pullback somewhere as close to above the red SMA line as I can. Or you could wait for confirmation above here if you want to be extra sure. Or you can wait for my dog to bark if you want to be really sure. Bear with me. The doge is no longer a problem. It's a little dark, huh? So we've gone parabolic, like I said. This is a great sign for reversing a trend, but there's still just so much to consider. This isn't like a place where you get FOMO. Because when you look at where we're actually at in the middle of this channel, I mean, we went parabolic here, and we're not even halfway through. And we've still got to hit this 200 EMA. Good. All right, awesome. Just FOMO. You know, just a little FOMO. If I need to keep that on the right so you can see the prices better, let me know. But I thought this might help look at the charts. Yeah, so when the 3-minute reaches the 200 EMA, that should be where we pull back. This won't go parabolic all the time. Even better would be if we actually do blow through that and then we pull back to it. And we consolidate there and then we start to take off again. I mean, it's a little high, honestly, but I mean, it just depends on when you want to buy. Your buy places are somewhere in here, or you could have bought like at a support level somewhere down here. I mean, here, confirmation that we're breaking out of here. You could look for a buy here, or your next buy is going to be if we're holding here. But the only reason I don't like this is because you're very close to this and you're very close to this. Best case scenario, we pull back pretty hard and you get a buy opportunity closer to the 1-minute time frame. Keep in mind though, you can't always get a perfect, like it doesn't just always work out that way. Yeah, we'd want it to pull back so you can buy in if you haven't yet. It doesn't always happen. Just if you're buying relatively low, you just kind of want to look for a good spot and kind of work with what you have. Our perfect buy-in opportunities are kind of leaving us. Our best was probably the 42 and then this other dip here. And Bree, did you sell 44? I know you were at 44, but did you sell 44 as well, or did you sell 45? Yeah, we're coming in pretty hot. Oh, you bought back in at 43, so you're in. Good. So you're looking to add even more. I mean, if you really want to add more, somewhere in this pullback area isn't, well, I mean, I say that, but honestly, I'd want to get out of here. We still have to deal with this level here at the end of the day. And since we've been in this for 26 hours, I feel like we're not just going to have a great time getting out. So, probably on confirmation that we're out of here, I would look for a pullback, and then that might be where I add. And at that point, even if it comes back a little bit, I only lose my profit, like some profits. I'm not losing any of my own capital because I've already made so much from buying down here and getting to this point already. It's my thought process. And sure enough, a little bit of difficulty at the 200, and on the 1-minute time frame, that's where we're pulling back. Now, that's why it's good to look at different time frames, because if you were looking at the 1 and didn't have your 3-minute up, you would be like, are we even going to slow down here? Are we going to go to the moon? You look here, you see your resistance line that everybody else can see, not just ones that you're drawing and hoping are the same as everyone else's. Hoping that when you put your resistance line on the wicks that they didn't put theirs on the bodies of the candles. And here we go. Expected pullback. Probably a bit of a sell-off. Now, if we're really moving, we'll have a small pullback and just take off and pass that red line and then pull back to hold on it, but unlikely. And that was pretty good, buying at 4.4 and selling at 4.4 just because it didn't feel right. But then you ended up getting a better price at the end of the day. As long as you're playing it smart like that and not losing or losing big, it's fine to exit if it just doesn't feel right and you think you were wrong. What's going on here? Ooh. That is unfortunate. Job loss will do it though. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about that. You know, that was a rough time for everyone. That's actually when I started last year during the pandemic. I didn't know if I would lose my job, and so I started learning about day trading because it's always something I was interested in. And I was like, if I could figure this out and make money off of this, I'll just do this full time. That's how this started. Yeah, I wanted to play it safe. Yeah, good call. So we're really bullish here, which is nice. We haven't seen a desire to go up like that in a while. What I do like is that we did this whole W pattern that's kind of sparked this outside of this range, which might tell us that we're starting to ignore it. We kind of stepped outside of it, did a little regroup and pattern, and we're like, all right, let's go. Just hold until next year. That's a long time for Dogecoin. Even though I feel pretty good about it short term, who knows long term? That's just so much time. Cryptocurrency is so new that we can't really guess, like, as of next year, will we have changed our minds about Doge and picked Shiba or something? It's just way too soon for me to know. Still a lot of roles to fill and a lot of time to fill those roles when it comes to crypto. What's going to be our main investment? Cryptocurrency? Will it remain Bitcoin? Will it transition to Ethereum and people kind of cool off on Bitcoin? Um, what will be our transacting crypto for day-to-day use when you're not really thinking about all the extra stuff, just trying to buy and sell in the US or overseas? What's going to be our default? Will it be Doge? Will it be SafeMoon, Shiba, XLM? Too many questions. So we had a nice run, but lost a little steam. But that was a massive run, so all things considered, that pullback wasn't crazy. And we're actually catching halfway through, so I mean, we could have come all the way back to here. I'm going to go back to one view. Not much going on the 5. No, I have a full-time job and some other things as well. I have some fun trading on the side whenever I get some free time. But what I do a lot of is just studying trading. Even when I can't trade, I'm usually watching videos on techniques and just learning. I just don't get a lot of time to actually trade. Um, Mostly because of the research you have to do, and you have to deal with monitoring the scanners all day and finding your stocks for the day and all that. That takes a little too much effort for me to be able to work and pull off. But if I know Dogecoin is just my coin or just my stock to trade, like right now, that I can deal with. All I have to do is turn my computer on, see where Doge is at, not do any additional research except for just knowing, are there any news events, has Elon tweeted, and just kind of go to town, buying low and selling high. But if I did lose my job, I was going to transition to full-time trading, so that's why I know a few things. I was fully prepared. Doo-doo-doo. Anybody else enjoying watching grass grow here? I mean, I've been staring at candles for, what, 13 hours today? I think the dips will touch the bottom orange line again. You know? Uh, if you're asking me right now, my answer is no. What I think is that this kind of did a little shifterino here to this. I think that's accurate lines, especially when you look at how this held underneath. This is looking a little bullish, but I mean, when you fix the line, we're actually not far from it. So it's very probable that we do pull back and do something off that. So I'll change my answer to yes, actually. There is a high chance. Well, it just kind of depends on what we do right in this area. If we reject here, yeah, we probably do come back to the orange line. If we hold up, we get this nice thing here where hopefully we can use that as our exit. Why are these lines so weird? There we go. It's still not right, but I'm really looking at this here. You see this huge slant and where we hit these points? Yeah, overall our line is not all the way up there, but just short term, there's definitely stuff going on right here. So I'll leave that there, but I do... Whoops. This is kind of intriguing. Not a perfect line, but just that inner here where we keep getting these touches. Rejected here, bounced. Some action here, touches here, 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 here. And now how we used it as resistance a little bit, and then we kind of hit through it. It's just an interesting middle level that we're kind of looking at as well. Cool. Glad you're able to, hopefully you're able to learn some things. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Bree. Hope it all works out. Hope next time you check in, we're up. Be curious to hear about your profits. Do it yourself. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool you get to listen in at work. That's nice. Hopefully I'm helping. Coinbase, SafeMoon, Doge. Nice. Yeah, SafeMoon, Shiba. I'm curious about it. I'd have to make another brokerage account. My Binance is a work in progress right now, and I should be able to buy some of those unusual altcoins and try them out. Just from what I hear, though, just a little risky, but as long as you're not going crazy with your capital you put in, I'm sure the risk reward is pretty high. We're still not having a super great time with this EMA line. We cleared it on the 1, but the 3's still giving us problems. But I think what it will take here is us really getting a decent pullback and holding. And I think the 1 minute price action pulling away strongly, people buying on the 1 will end up translating to us getting through on the 3. Because you got to just keep in mind, most people are trading on the 1 minute. If they're looking to buy and sell, all day traders usually use 1, maybe 2. And to on their perspective, we're bullish. Those that are looking at this throughout the course of the day, being a little more cautious. But on the 1 and 2, we're both looking good. So I think the 1 and 2 guys will probably pull us through. On 5, we're not even near the EMA line yet. That's sitting there waiting for us right at around 50. Worst possible spot, you know. Oh, okay, so we're getting one of those things. I mean, we'll see. Usually this is up. It's like a weird looking bull flag. And you've also got weird levels in here too. Like, look at this. Trying to hold whatever diagonal that is. That's strange. Binance, you have to use Binance US. And there are two slightly separate things, but they make one specifically for those that are in the US. Apparently, from what I hear, it's not quite as great, but it's kind of all we have in the US. Oh, hopefully that's just a rejection wick, and we can still go up, but it could be just us falling through. We'll see. Patterns don't always hold in the way that we like. Yeah, that one's not looking too great for us. Oh. Oh, this is looking pretty decent now. Not super strong yet, though. A little worrying. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which way this goes. If it goes down, good. As long as we get a chance to test this and hold it, we just bounce off. If it goes up, cool. Because that should help us get through the 3 minutes resistance here. But we are just kind of chilling and waiting. We're already in low. That's why you buy down here, and you can just sit back and watch all this mess and not be trying to time entries here and all this. Just look at your price action, find out where we should be headed, and buy a good price in the dip. And then you can sell. You can sit back through all of this and buy or sell somewhere way higher up at a good price. If you really want to sell, try and time the top and then wait for another dip. We're not done with this pattern yet, but it's taken a long time. All right. Still not done. Also, if you guys do end up having to go, don't forget to subscribe before you do leave, because I'm going to try and run these streams every day while Doge is still volatile. So if you don't want to miss the next stream, sub. I'm a small channel, so I will definitely be hard to find.